Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. My name is Muhammad Afiq bin Muhammad Noor from Group 5. Today we would like to present about medieval Europe. They are my group members.
And a very good morning. My name is Sharifah Nur Balkis and I will start the presentation. Early medieval period. Other names for this period include the Dark Ages and the Ages of Religion. Medieval is the Latin term of the Middle Ages. It comes from the same word that gives us median in mathematics. The Middle Age was the period of European history between 580 and 1580. During these centuries, the Chinese, Indian, and Islamic mathematicians had been in the ascendancy. Europe has fallen into the Dark Ages, in which science, mathematics, and almost all intellectual endeavors stagnated. Scholastic scholars only valued studies in the humanities, such as philosophy and literature, and spent much of their energies quarreling over subtle subjects in metaphysics and theology, such as how many angels can stand on the point of a needle.
High Middle Ages, AD 1000 to 1300, will be presented by me, Aisha Nazura binti Muhammad Tamizi. The High Middle Ages or High Medieval period was the period of European history that lasted from around 1000 to 1300 CE. The High Middle Ages were preceded by the Early Middle Ages and were followed by the Late Middle Ages. This is the period which produced many different forms of intellectual, spiritual, and artistic works. Beginning around the year 1050, European scholars built upon their existing knowledge by seeking out ancient learning in Greek and Arabic texts, which they translated into Latin. From the 4th to 12th centuries, European knowledge and study of arithmetic, geometry, astronomy, and music was limited mainly to Boethius' translation of some of the works of ancient Greek masters such as Nicomachus and Euclid. By the 12th century, Europe was beginning to trade with the East. Eastern knowledge gradually began to spread to the West. Robert of Chester translated Al-Khawarizmi, important book on algebra, into Latin in the 12th century. Complete text of Euclid Element was translated in various versions by Adelard of Bath, Hermann of Carinthia, and Gerald of Cremona. On the left is the compendious book on calculation by completion and balancing. The author for this book is Al-Khawarizmi. Meanwhile, on the left is the famous book Element by Euclid. Now, I will introduce three great medieval mathematicians. The first one is Leonardo of Pisa. His greatest achievement is spreading the use of Hindu-Arabic numeral system throughout Europe early in the 13th century. The second one is Frenchman Nicole Oresme. He used a system of rectangular coordinates centuries before his countryman René Descartes popularized the idea, as well as perhaps the first time speed distance graph. On the right side, you can see the speed distance graph. He also proved that the harmonic series is a divergent infinite series. The third person is Regiomontanus. He produced the Triangulis, in which he described much of the basic trigonometric knowledge which is now taught in high school and college. The Triangulis is actually a book. He also spread trigonometry from astronomy.
Next, I would like to introduce Fibonacci. So who is Fibonacci? His real name is Leonardo Fibonacci, while his English name is Leonardo of Pisa. He is also known as Leonardo Pisano. He wrote Liber Abaci, Book of the Abacus. He is the first European work on Indian and Arabian mathematics. He spent his younger years in North Africa. One of his contributions in mathematics is Fibonacci sequence. It is also known as Fibonacci numbers. It is the first recursive number sequence in Europe. It is considering a practical problem in the Liber-Abaci involving the growth of hypothetical population of rabbits. Each monthly generation, the number of pair of rabbits increased from 1 to 2 to 3 to 5 to 8 to 13, etc. To identify how the sequence progressed by adding the previous two terms. In mathematical terms, Fn equals to Fn-1 plus Fn-2, a sequence which could in theory extend indefinitely.
Azila, saya akan sambung mengenai Fibonacci sequence or Fibonacci number are nature numbering system. They appear everywhere in nature, from the leaf plant to the petal of the flower, a pine cone, or the scale of the pineapple. The Fibonacci number are every living thing, including a single cell, a grain of whale, a hive of bees, and pineapple. From the Fibonacci sequence, Fibonacci rectangle are created. The Fibonacci sequence is used in various art forms. Here, a picture of 14th century Greek building is shown. From the picture, we can see how art is created using Fibonacci rectangle. Fibonacci for major work. First and most famous, Liber-Abaci, the book of calculation. Second, Pratica Geometria, the practice of geometry. Third, Flos, the flower. 4. Liber Quadratorum, the book of square. From the picture, we can see a page of Fibonacci Liber-Abaci, showing in the box on the right the Fibonacci sequence with the position in the sequence labeled with Latin number and Roman numeral and the value in the Hindu-Arabic numeral.